Okay, so in this clip we're going to be looking at the factor of my trust of others, ideas and opinions, how much I choose to question or trust my teacher or other pupils in my lessons. This is the third of the 7 factors in the Footprints Raising Attainment assessments, and it's very important. It relates very strongly to the ability of students to be resourceful, to both join in and access support and help and advice from their peers and their teachers, but also to be critical, to be able to evaluate and stand back and to assert their own viewpoint. So again, we've got our standard format where this particular student, Barney Walker, has a baseline score for this factor, and his baseline is pretty low. So he has an instinctively low trust of others' ideas and opinions, which is not that uncommon amongst teenage year 10 boys and girls. It suggests a slight suspicion and wariness of other people. You may have students whose baseline is quite high, which suggests a degree of compliance and eagerness to please. So Barney's baseline is quite low here, and then we can see that we've got some optimal scores which are subject specific. So the optimal position for maths and science is around about the midpoint, just below the midpoint here, where there needs to be both an ability to trust other people, that means to work collaboratively, to join in, to listen to other people's ideas, but also to be critical as well, and to hold one's own position and to evaluate things. The optimal position for arts and English is a little bit more collaborative. It's further up here in terms of having higher trust of other people, a greater need to participate and work with others rather than close down opportunities to learn from other people. Now, when we look at Barney's scores here, we find that he's got 2 scores which are down towards the bottom end of trust of others, close to his baseline. So Barney seems to be holding his instinctively low trusting posture when he is engaging in chemistry and in English. So in those lessons he really is not trusting other people, either his teacher or his peers. Now we want to help Barney to pull those scores higher up, where he's learning to trust others a little bit more. So what we need to do is to focus on this side here. This boy here is the one who is able to choose to trust other people's opinions and ideas. So he's got some good ideas that will help Barney, and he can help Barney by pointing out some of the risks that if Barney doesn't learn to trust other people's ideas and opinions in English and chemistry, then there may be some consequences. It may be that he struggles in joining in the collaborative tasks. That may mean that he doesn't join in. He may spoil things for others by being very disengaging or being silly, and that may well be a feature of a student who has a very low trust of others, that they are disruptive and they sabotage collaborative projects. Barney may close down opportunities to learn from his teachers and others who want to help him, and he may end up in his lessons feeling withdrawn. So you may well have a student who comes to you with a low trust of other people in their lessons, who is really feeling very withdrawn, that no one can help them, disengaged, and is avoidant. And this is a really important thing for us to pick up on, and we must engage with this and help our students to pull their scores further up here where they can learn to trust other people. Now, how can they do that? Okay, well, they need to make a commitment to believe that other people are going to be on their side. And here are a series of statements that Barney can read and consider committing to. So he may, for example, say, well, I think I can engage in activities, even if I can't immediately see the point in this chemistry experiment that we're going to do on this English exercise. I'm going to make a choice that I will actually commit to that. I will engage because I understand there's a risk if I don't. So he's going to select that with your support. He's going to say, I'm going to commit to it. He's going to put an arrow box to say, yes, I'm going to do that, and then he's going to transfer that writing to his student target booklet here, and that's going to be his lesson focus for English and chemistry, and he's going to discuss that with his teacher and then get an assessment at the end of the week as to what progress he's made. And we may need to stay with this as a target for some considerable weeks, because it's unlikely that it's going to change overnight. Trusting others is not something easy, but it's something which we need to get a virtuous circle going, where Barney discovers that he can have a go at being a little bit more engaged, a little bit more collaborative, and that it's not so bad. What we also find here with Barney is an outlier score with maths. So it seems that in maths he is exhibiting the very opposite, a very high trust of other people. That's interesting in itself. You may want to ask Barney what factors in his math lessons make him able and want to trust other people so much. Very interesting thing to find out. What it suggests is that Barney feels engaged in maths, but he also feels insecure and anxious, and so he's looking to others to help him. And we may need to find out why Barney feels he needs so much help there. Does he feel very unconfident, very insecure in maths? Does he feel like he needs to rely on other people? And does Barney need to learn to be a little bit more critical of others, to develop that critical faculty? So it's this girl over here who can question other people's ideas and opinions that Barney needs to listen to in maths, in terms of his engagement with maths. So she can help him here, and we may need to read down here and choose which of these statements Barney is going to be able to commit to. Here are the risks that if Barney doesn't do this in maths, he may, for example, only achieve as much as other students, when in fact he could actually achieve more. He may rely on other people too much. He may not voice his own opinion and ideas, just allowing others to voice theirs. So Barney, in maths, which of these things do you feel you're going to be able to commit to over this week? Do you think you can, for example, be careful not to be overly influenced by others' ideas and opinions? Will you check before changing something, rather than just changing it because someone else has suggested that you do? So let's say Barney wants to commit to this particular target here. See if I can select it. Copy that, and again he's going to put that in here, and we identify which lesson he's going to do this in, and that's his target in that lesson for the coming week that he's going to have some assessment on. And again, we may well find that this is something we need to come back to over not just week 4, but we're going to return to it in week 5 and week 6, and continue to make this a target over the course of Raising Attainment, because it's a very important one. At the end of Raising Attainment, the 10-week intervention, we're going to see whether Barney feels he's made progress in these subjects from where he started with. Hopefully we can create a virtuous circle where Barney feels he has got agency, he can make choices, he can move himself forward, and he's going to identify how much it has actually helped in these specific lessons.